Welcome to my channel Fearless Rust. So Rust is notorious for having a steep learning curve, and in this channel what we are going to try is that we are trying to tame that fear by writing a lot of programs. Okay, so and the programs will uh, get gradually get more complex, starting from very simple tests to maybe to a project where we can write an expression calculator using stack. So basically the Dijkstra's algorithm, using some Dijkstra's algorithm, we'll start with some basic arithmetic expression, and maybe we can add some cherry on the top, like the uses of functions, and then maybe uses of if else, etc. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I have some assumptions. So the first thing is that you are accustomed with the Rust installations. So if you are not, you can go to this install page and can try with this Windows setups, 32-bit or 64-bit, or maybe the subsystem for Linux setup. And there are other installation methods with rastup, so that those are for Linux based computers. And one thing that you have to install the Visual Studio C++ build tools. Okay, so these are all the things that that I am assuming that you know. And you also know about the book, the I think the most comprehensive, the best way to learn Rust. Okay, so then you may have the question, why should I watch your channel? It's completely optional, but I am trying to basically go through different programs to make my journey easier, as well as if someone coming to Rust for the very first time, their journey can also get a little bit of easier. Okay, so other than that, I don't have any other agenda. Okay, so let's start. So what I have done here is that so this is just a bare minimum uh, mm, GitHub Git project. Okay, so it just came with simple git ignore. So I have used this Rust type in the git ignore while creating the project, and then also the license. I have used some MIT license and some readme. Okay, so that's it. That's the very basic simple thing. So what I'm going to do now is that I am going to basically create a library project. So if you don't know about library projects and all, so we'll get there gradually. Okay, but for now, just we are creating a library project so that we can write a test, or to be very honest, the test will also be written by Rust itself. Okay, so now once I have ran this, so now you can see that the project directory has changed. So we got a subdirectory known as src. Within that we got this lib.rs. Okay, I'll come to that, and it also generated the stub for me. That's what I told, that the very first program that I am going to that is in my practice list will come from the Rust compiler or the cargo toolchain itself. Okay, so we don't have to do much here. Okay, and then also it created some target folder, so where we are going to store the generated or the compiled files from this. So this is the target folder, and that's why you can see that this target and debug, these are ignored by the git. So because these are compiler generated, only the source code that's going to get into the GitHub repository. Okay, and then you get the cargo.log file. So if you have ever worked with npm earlier, so this is the package log.json or something like that. Okay, so this basically says is that this is automatically generated by cargo and not intended for manual editing, so we are not going to bother about this. But overall it basically says that which project version or which libraries you are going to use. So that's all. And the cargo toml, so Tom's obvious minimal language, so it basically gives a key value pair. It has a list of key value pairs, something like name, the version, the edition. And when we use some dependency, we have those dependencies as well. So dependencies means the external projects that some other people have done, and those comes from crates.io. Okay, so crates.io is the Rust's uh, package repository altogether, and you can see that there are a lot of packages here, and I also have some of mine own onto this. So yeah, I think toyml was one, if I'm not wrong. So where I created a minimal uh, toy project. Okay, hello world for the machine learning. Okay, okay. Anyways, so this is the crates.io, so where you can have from where you will get the repository. So it's kind of Maven or the npm registry uh, in Java or JavaScript world. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And now what is there? So in the lib.rs, so now I'll come to that. So the very first thing that you have to do is that, and for going few programs or maybe for few upcoming videos, we'll follow this structure. Okay, so we'll have this lib.rs, and in that lib.rs we'll change our, or we'll write our program, and then we'll write this hash and then cfg test. Okay, and then mod tests, and then use super colon colon and then start, and then whatever function we are trying to uh, test, we'll just test that and then have this. Okay, so now if I run this, so I will run this with cargo test. So if I run this now, you will see that you will get this cargo saying that your projects are fine, your tests are running fine. Okay, so now as you know that there should be a red and green cycle of don't get to the Squid Games, but yeah, there should be a red and green cycle in the tests as well. Okay, so let's just try to add one more here. Okay, so let's just write one more test here, so leaving the one that cargo automatically created for us. Okay, so it was cargo created for addition, so let's just do one for subtraction here. Okay, so same thing I'll do here. Say let result equal to sub, instead of add I'll just use sub, and I'll pass two integer numbers here, and then srtq. So what should be 2 minus 2? That should be 0. So 0, and then let's say result. So these parameters you can interchange. Okay, so that's what I did here. So now it says that, so you can see that there is all these red squigglies. Okay, so that's basically extended through this Rust analyzer extension here. Okay, so Rust hyphen analyzer is the extension that basically gives this. But if you don't have this, so you basically can run this cargo test, and then your test will fail. Okay, I'll talk about that extension a little bit later, the different extensions I have in my VS Code, so you can install them. Okay, so these are basic things I assume you should follow. Okay, and then sub22, so it basically says cannot find function sub22. Okay, so let's try to do that. So what I will do is that I'll simply copy whatever the library function we got already, and then maybe we'll just use the sub here. Okay, and I'm deliberately not making the right version. Okay, so that we get the error cargo test. So now if we run this, so basically we'll see that your one test failed, and that test failed. Which test failed is that sub works. So if you go there, the sub works, and whatever the failure was, so left equal to right failed. So what that means is that, so the left I have given 0, and I expected a result of 0, but the right, which is the result, got 4. So basically this didn't work. Okay, so this basically didn't work, that's why it failed. Now you go back and debug. Okay, that's anyways our developer's job to go and debug things and make it perfect. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just simply giving left minus right. Okay, so now if I run cargo test again, it should go back to green. So from again the red cycle, red light to green light, okay, or red to green. Okay, let's take that squid game analogy. So now basically the green light is on, you can run. Okay, so that's it. That's the basics of Rust programs. In our next video we will go with the next program, that is the temperature conversion program. And believe me, in this we are going to go over, if I complete all these subsections of this program, we are going to go over all the basics of any programming. Okay, so not only Rust but any programming. Okay, so let's come back for that. Bye.